Rath rolls into fiery Bengal war. Nadda's cheater chore jibe at Mamata Banerjee. Big Poribortan versus Polarization debate. State Yatra, national implication. It's a big Bengal showdown. Top focus at 6 p.m. with Preeti Chaudhary.
Warm welcome viewers, you're watching India Today. With what was highly anticipated, the Rath has finally rolled in West Bengal. The much anticipated Rathyatra of BJP has finally been flagged off under immense amount of speculation, immense amount of politics. It happened at BJP's Nadia district. BJP Chief JP Nadda flagged off the Rathyatra in Navadip. While there is no official word from the Bengal government, the BJP claims that it has got the permission. Along with senior leaders of Bengal, BJP, the Rathyatra will crisscross the state in the run-up to the polls, pretty much going through all constituencies of West Bengal. Earlier in the day, Nadda had held a massive road show in a show of strength at Malda district amidst chants of Jai Shri Ram. Launching a scathing attack at Mamata, Nadda took a jibe asking why Mamata Banerjee gets angry when she hears chants of Jai Shri Ram. He also accused Bengal Chief Minister of blocking centre schemes for farmers in the state in an outreach to farmers amidst farm law stir. Nadda had his lunch with farmers in Sahapura village of Malda.
The Poribortan Yatra has kicked off already. How do you see it? Because it came after a lot of trouble and a lot of difficulties. The BJP was not getting permission.
You see, whenever you go for some right work and for the welfare of the people, there are people who want to stop you. There are people who create obstruction on way, and Mamata is one of them. Mamata this is her style of functioning, that in a dictatorial attitude she does not want that any alternative ideology should come up. And here also she has been trying, not today, right from the very beginning. But we all know that in spite of all that, Bharatiya Janata Party has come a long way and we will be successful here also. You see, she has not given permission, I'm told, I don't know. But the permission has been given by the people of Bengal. The overwhelming support which we are getting and how the masses have come forward, this itself has given the permission.
Do you see Poribortan as a reality, sir?
It is a reality. Poribortan is coming. There is an aspiration among the people of Bengal. They are fed up with the corruption, with the cut money. They are fed up with tolabaji. They are fed up with non-performance of the government. They are fed up with the politicization of administration. They are fed up with the institutionalization of corruption. So all this has, they are very disturbed and they want an alternative, and they find alternative in Bharatiya Janata Party.
One final question. They are saying that the Poribortan Yatra of the BJP is meant to create a law and order situation to polarize the state.
You see, such type of arguments always come from people who have got a dictatorial mindset. They have got such lame excuses because they do not have any strength in them as far as argument is concerned, as far as the basic content in polity is concerned. They don't have it. So they come out with such shallow arguments which do not have content. But Bharatiya Janata Party, under the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Modi, is going forward, NDA is going forward, and here also in Bengal, we will form the government.
Right. Thank you so much for speaking with us. That was Mr. Nadda speaking exclusively to India Today.
All right, that was an exclusive conversation with my colleague Polumi, but the BJP President JP Nadda continued to launch scathing attacks on the Chief Minister through the day, from accusing the TMC government of looting people of Bengal and blocking centres' welfare schemes. Nadda tore into Mamata Banerjee on her turf. Listen in.
हमारी ममता दीदी की आदत है, अपना तो कुछ है नहीं, लेकिन चीटिंग में भी आगे रहती है। चीटिंग में कैसे? हमारा स्वच्छ भारत, हमारा मोदी जी का पैसा एखाने बांग्लादेश निर्मल बांग्ला
नाम बदल दिया, सिर्फ नाम बदल दिया, काम मोदी जी का, नाम ममता का। ये सरकार चला रहा है। प्रधानमंत्री ग्रामीण सड़क योजना उसको बना दिया बांग्ला ग्रामीण सड़क योजना। उसी तरीके से हमारे प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना को बांग्लार बाड़ी बना दिया। ये योजनाओं का नाम बदल करने से ममता जी आप बंगाल की जनता को आगे नहीं खींच सकती हैं। चाल चोर के तिरपाल चोर के, राशन चोर के, गोरू चोर के, देखिए मैंने नहीं कहा, लेकिन जनता ने कहा। ये जनता की आवाज है। इनको बताना पड़ेगा कि ये जिस तरीके की राजनीति कर रहे हैं, इनको बंगाल की जनता ने नमस्ते कह दिया है।
All right, so the Poribortan Rath have rolled right now, at least in the district of Nadia. What does it tantamount to? Because permission wasn't given, but the local authorities didn't come in the way at all. Let's cut across to our panelists this evening. Tom Wadakan from the Bharatiya Janata Party joins us. I have Suparna Moitra, TMC spokesperson, and Sanjay Singh joins us in the capacity of a political analyst. Mr. Wadakan, welcome to the show. My first question, sir. You know, what was supposed to be tectonic, high-octane, a possible clash brewing between the local authorities of Nadia, the BJP or the TMC cadre, which is taking out a motorbike rally, and the Poribortan Rathyatra, started without any incident, which we all should be glad of, and very tamely. Would you think it would have served the BJP well if there was at least a confrontation with the local authorities, or do you think it all worked out well in the end?
All's well that ends well, Preeti. I mean, ultimately, it is about the people's mandate. And what has happened is good. The Poribortan Yatra has rolled out, and as Palmi has just interviewed our president, it's a clear indication that he's confident and he's put out his party line very clearly. And our party line is very clear on this. We will move forward. Poribortan Yatra is much more than winning elections. It's about the change that we want to bring about in the state of West Bengal. I mean, you call it whatever, polarization or whatever you want. I would ask you another word they use as appeasement. Now, is appeasement correct or polarization? Let's keep all those vocabulary for a better day. But yes, the people's mandate depends on what you deliver and what you bring on the table.
All right, okay. Before I cut across to the TMC spokesperson, I want to just get in our political analyst, Sanjay Singh, as well. And Mr. Sen, I'll just come back to you. But Mr. Singh, my question is, with what this Poribortan Yatra was touted to be, there was so much anticipation. It seemed that there was going to be a confrontation, and the BJP was feeding off it as well politically. Do you think by not stopping it, that whole political drama that could have helped BJP politically, especially if the local administration had come and stopped it, did not happen?
It's difficult to anticipate at this moment, but yes, the kind of situation that is there and the kind of clashes that we have seen in the past in West Bengal, that surcharges the atmosphere of political workers, but it should not happen. And in run-up to elections, if it happens, then it brings bad blood to the people concerned out there and also to polity at large. So thankfully, thank God, today's this thing passed off peacefully. From the perspective of JP Nadda and the BJP, their strategy worked well. See, he began his program by having lunch with farmers. That was to send a larger message across the nation that on a day when farmers in this particular area, Kisan unions, and the protest that is going on, they had planned a chakka jam kind of a protest. There again, there was some setback to unions because Rakesh Tikka had not participated in it. That is besides the point. But thereafter, that roadshow in Malda, thereafter this Poribortan Yatra, launching of Poribortan Yatra, then that massive rally. And the points he said there, that works out very well for the BJP in terms of semantics, in terms of messaging, and also in terms of cadre mobilization.
All right, okay. Let's cut across to Mr. Moitra right now. Mr. Moitra, the BJP had a strategy. It seems so did the TMC, because the optics of possibly the local authorities which had not either denied or given permission coming in, stopping this Rathyatra to take off would have given more political mileage to the BJP. By not stopping it, by not doing so, was this also part of the TMC strategy, sir?
Good evening to you, ma'am. Good evening to Mr. Vadakkar and also Mr. Singh and all the viewers of this program. Let me, at the outset, clarify that the party, All India Trinamool Congress, has got nothing to do with withholding of permission or granting permission. The government of the state, that is the government of West Bengal, and the local administration are the best people to have taken stock of the situation, assessing various parameters like the health parameter and the other parameters, must have felt right to have given the permission to them. So the party has never interfered into the running of a government. So just to say that TMC is coming in the way is far from truth, one. Second, when we are talking about this Poribortan Yatra, Poribortan Yatra is not new for BJP in Bengal. They started the process of Poribortan way back in 2014. And on 5 parameters, I possibly, there could be more, but 5 which quickly comes to my mind would be that hope to despair, a running economy to a stalled economy, and democracy to autocracy. These were the changes they have already implemented in the country. And as far as the farmers are concerned, everybody knows about the track record of the government at the center. So such could be good for optics. But at the end of the day, 139 farmers have died. They are asking for the repeal of laws. And people are so keen to win the Bengal elections that the entire brass didn't have time to go and meet the farmers at the Singhu border, but they could come to Bengal to talk for the party, so we can understand what the priorities of the Bharatiya Janata Party is, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Moitra, good evening to you too. It debates that borderline, being so aggressive nowadays, these niceties are lost in that, but good evening. I want to cut across to Mr. Vadakkar right now back. Mr. Vadakkar, taking off from what the optics of the day was, if there was one thing that stood out, which is pretty much the backbone of this Poribortan Yatra as well, which is Jai Shri Ram. Is Jai Shri Ram now going to be the war cry of the BJP, which clearly seeming to be in West Bengal?
Preeti, you are from North India. I'm from South India. Okay, so I mean, it won't be a new thing to say that Jai Shri Ram is a greeting that we exchange in North India. I've lived all my life in North India.
Ram Ram Ji, Mr. Vadakkar, if you're asking me, it's Ram Ram, not Jai Shri Ram.
No, there is Jai Shri Ram too. I mean, I've been around, so I mean, Ram Ram too is also there. But Preeti, let it rest, because this is about a national identity. Jai Shri Ram is not a bad word. Okay, this is about Shri Ram. And if somebody is troubled by it or has a DNA problem with the word Jai Shri Ram, that's something that needs some correction of mindset. Be what it may. Now, Mr. Moitra, he's a nice man. He's mentioned all about the optics. He's talked about the farmers issue. But I also want to tell him there are very innocent workers who got killed in the state of West Bengal. 300 was the last count. Many of them got hung by on trees, no post-mortem conducted. And the report was that they died out of heart attack. My heart goes out to them. I don't know what Mr. Moitra would think about it, but a single word of, condolence in the people of West Bengal who have died. They are workers of our party, yes, but they are people from West Bengal. Would have been very useful. And from about democracy and autocracy, I don't think I need to give a long speech. Okay. We know what is happening. Permissions are granted or not granted. You can land, you cannot land. You can't take a bus. You can't travel by trolley. You take permission. You go to the chief secretary. The chief secretary tells you to go to the panchayat president. and then it goes on. So let's not let the case rest with that.
All right, okay. I'll bring in Mr. Moitra again, and then I'll cut across to Sanjay Singh. Mr. Moitra, you know, coming back to the day today, one thing which was omnipresent is with whatever stage that Mr. Nadda was, the charge is that it is the Chief Minister of West Bengal who is scared of the chants of Jai Shri Ram. This seemingly has been now is going to be the war cry of the BJP in West Bengal, which is Jai Shri Ram, sir. Now, on the other hand, with the Poribortan Rathyatra, would you reckon there is fear in the TMC ranks that this will possibly consolidate the Hindu vote behind the BJP, behind the Saffron Party, which anyway was a fear with the BJP?
Ma'am, you have asked one question, but I think that's divided into two halves. One is about chanting of Jai Shri Ram, and the other about that whether TMC is scared about a consolidation of the majoritarian votes. I will answer the first one. There is absolutely no denying the fact that Lord Rama resides in the hearts of 130 crore Indians, and everybody would agree with me when I say that. So there's no disagreement on that. But what have we brought Lord Rama to? Lord Rama is someone, because it's not about a particular religion only, it's about the ideals that he stood for. What has BJP done? BJP has unfortunately used Lord Rama as a political tool for consolidation, if I may just borrow from the second point of yours. Second, why should we be scared of any political party? We believe that this is a democracy, and as Mr. Vadakan's party and the other political parties are going to stake their claim in the Bengal elections, which are going to be up in 2 months' time, we are also going. We have been in government for the last 10 years, and we have delivered. Of course, when a government is there for 10 years, of course, there are going to be incidents which possibly could have avoided on many areas, and that's true for all governments. But on the ideological part, we have never gone wrong, one. Second, we have never tried to think about a 70 or a 30. This is the first time I'm reminded of my arithmetic classes as a spokesperson. I forgot the arithmetic long time back with regard to 70 and 30, because we thought 100 is important. But today we are talking about a 30, we are talking about a 70. I think this is doing injustice to the secular fabric of the country, and which are strongly enshrined in the Constitution of India, ma'am.
All right, okay, let me once again bring in Sanjay Singh. Mr. Singh, how do you see it? You know, the writing is on the wall. Whether we like to admit it, whether we don't like to admit it, the West Bengal election, a tectonic election at that, would be one of the most polarizing of all times.
Without doubt, Preeti, this is going to be most polarizing elections. And we saw something of this sort happening in Uttar Pradesh way back in 2017 assembly elections. And their polarization was not so visible, not so overt, but in West Bengal, it's so obvious. Yesterday also, Congress leader writing that particular letter, writing to Sonia Gandhi, talking about Muslim votes. Then Sadduddin Owaisi talking about it, and a whole lot of people are actually talking about it.
No, the very fact, Mr. Singh, that you begin a speech with Jai Shri Ram, there's nothing wrong with Jai Shri Ram. But Jai Shri Ram is a taunt right now with the TMC is concerned from the BJP.
Precisely. What has happened in the past in 2019 parliamentary election, at some places Mamata Banerjee actually looked very irritated and very anguished when Jai Shri Ram chants were made. Subsequently, people, BJP and their support group picked up this particular chant to irritate Mamata Banerjee. And the more one gets irritated, the more kind of mileage the other side gets. Of course, this has become a political slogan of BJP, and BJP leaders, of course, should not so say that they are making this as a political slogan. More so because now construction of Ram Mandir has started. The other point is the BJP is a party. If you go in BJP's history, BJP has a kind of they build a strategy, they work on that particular strategy, and from the beginning 4 to 6% votes, then 10% votes, and then swing to the position of power. That has happened in Gujarat, the state where they are in power for more than 4 terms now. This has happened more recently in Haryana and Tripura and also in Assam. In West Bengal, if you see in 2012 assembly election, the BJP got barely 4% of votes and 0 member in assembly. In next elections, in last elections, they got around, I think, 10% votes and 3 members in assembly. And today, whole attention is focused on BJP. That by itself is a commentary on how BJP has become a force to reckon with in Bengal. That by itself tells the story. And thereafter, that polarization, of course, is there. And there also are certain things on in terms of governance. The political election strategist Prashant Kishore, I don't think he did the tweet that he made. BJP is not going to cross double digit, which meant either 99 or 10. I don't know. If he meant 99, then of course that tells another story.
Well, he meant 99. But having said that, appreciate you all 3 gentlemen for joining us this evening. Of course, the debate's going to continue in days to come. That's not ebbing anywhere. But to focus on the Poribortan Rathyatra, because there was so much talk about it in the run-up to it. It started off very tamely without anything to report, which is a very good thing sometimes. So the Rath has rolled. At least in the Nadia district, we'll only know when it reaches the borders of the other 2nd district whether that administration will allow it to roll or not. We'll keep a keen eye on all developments. Thank you for joining us. Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.